Good evening. It is now 7 p.m. and the January 21st, 2025 Town Hall meeting of the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners is now in session. I'm going to call the roll. Commissioner Rutledge.
Here.
Commissioner Chismar.
Here.
Commissioner Taylor.
Oh,
Is Commissioner Taylor on the line?
did we set up?
Did we set that up?
He's telephoning in.
Yes, sir. He is. Yeah, we'll go with.
Then can I just call him on this phone?
Absolutely. And I'll call Commissioner Chance while we're waiting.
Aye.
And we'll have a brief interlude while we get our technology set up. I'm not sure what the trouble was, but I think we're going to have him on.
Hello? Oh, hey, Jake.
All right.
Hey, sorry I didn't have. Okay. I didn't have the speakerphone set up, so I actually have you on my cell phone right now.
So Commissioner Taylor, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, terrific. We can hear you too. So everyone is present and accounted for, and if you will please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the agenda for this evening, January the 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, Bel Air.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. Do I have a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion of this evening's agenda? All right. Mr. Krantz, I think we're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for approval of this evening's agenda, January 21st, 2025, the meeting of the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners. Commissioner Rutledge,
Aye.
Commissioner Chismar,
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
The agenda is approved.
Great. Thank you. And next we have the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meetings held on December 10th, 2024, and December 16th, 2024 be approved as submitted, including minutes for the following meetings. December 10th, 2024, Commissioners' Work Session open meeting. December 10th, 2024, Commissioners' Work Session closed meeting. And it's the December 16th, 2024 Commissioners' Town Hall meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Chismar. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion of the minutes, corrections?
Yes, Madam Chair, I had one correction. On page 2 of the December 10th, yes, there's a December 10th minutes. The very
And that was
top.
the open meeting?
That was the open meeting. Yes, ma'am. The very top said Mr. Hopkins said he and Commissioner Chismar had previously met with Delegate Vincente. I believe, Madam Chair, you were there also, so we should conclude.
I
your
was.
name on
And
that.
does it say Delegate Vincente? Because it should say Council President Vincente.
It says Delegate Vincente, that's true, so
Yeah.
that should probably be changed to
All right.
also
So with those
Councilman.
two amendments or corrections,
Anyone have anything else? All right. In that case, for the amended minutes, Mr. Krantz, the minutes as amended?
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the minutes
we didn't-
as amended.
I don't think we seconded that. That's just,
Oh, we didn't?
do we have a second on the amendment of the minutes?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Rutledge. All right, and now a vote on the minutes as amended.
Okay. Do we need to vote on the amendment or just
We're going to vote on them as amended.
amendment? Okay. To vote on the meeting minutes as amended for December 10th and December 16th, Commissioner Rutledge,
Aye.
Commissioner Chismar,
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Thank you.
Terrific. And now we come to one of the most important things that we're going to do this evening, which is a presentation to recognize Mike Blum for the 2024 Bel Air Christmas Parade. Come up here, Mr. Blum, and join me at the podium. We have this lovely certificate for your service this year. To Michael Blum, we wish to express our deepest appreciation for his countless contributions in spearheading the Town of Bel Air Christmas Parade. For 15 years, Mr. Blum has transformed Main Street into a magical celebration filled with costumed characters, floats, marching bands, and talented entertainers. And to the delight of Bel Air residents and visitors of all ages, Mr. Blum always ensures that the stars of the show, Santa and Mrs. Claus, guide their sleigh from the North Pole to attend this fun-filled event. It is our sincere honor to acknowledge Mr. Blum's tireless energy and attention to detail in making the Town of Bel Air Christmas Parade a fun and festive event that never fails to instill holiday spirit and a great sense of community. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the great seal of the Town of Bel Air to be affixed this 21st day of January in the year of our Lord 2025. Mike, this really doesn't even begin to express all the things that you do for the town, not just the Christmas parade, but the 4th of July parade. And I know the Christmas parade has grown to be such a terrific event. I understand this year there were more applicants than you had room for in the parade. Ran out of room.
Ran out of room.
That is a real compliment to the parade that you put together.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor Edding. I really appreciate it. I feel,
You can certainly have.
can I have the podium?
Absolutely.
Just for a second. Mayor,
Laughing at the just
they're
for a
letting-
second,
just
but
for a
go
second.
ahead, Mike, it's yours.
I'll be short, sort of. I appreciate very much the very kind words that you said on the certificate, but I wish also to say that nothing good could happen without Steve Klein, without Chuck Moore and his corps, without Angela Robinson of Economic Development and her fantastic staff, without the support of the commissioners, without Eddie, without Mike, without everybody in the town who supports such a wonderful community, even Kevin, who doesn't seem to be here. And as evidence this year, what was the best in the parade? Which unit was deemed by 5 independent judges the best unit in the parade? The Town of Bel Air Public Works Dump Truck Snowplow! Which unfortunately you got some use of this year, didn't you there? Yes, very timely. Is Chuck Arnold really retiring?
Chuck Arnold has an issue and he's
Thinking
thinking about it.
about it, okay, well, anyway. I just wanted to say, yes, it is a huge amount of work. I have got wonderful support and wonderful volunteers with me, and it is backbreaking at times, but it is also utterly worth it. It is charming, it is wonderful, it brings Christmas and all the joys of the season to a wonderful town that deserves all the joy that it brings. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Well, we want to present this little token of our appreciation, which weighs a ton.
It weighs a ton.
It weighs a ton, but it looks lovely.
I'll eat my way through it.
You can,
yeah.
and you're channeling Christmas here with
Yes,
the
yes,
red,
yes,
I see.
red, yes,
All right,
yes.
well, that is,
Very Santa-ish.
Very
yes.
Santa-ish.
Yes, if I grew my beard, it'd be even worse. Yeah. Yes, thank you very
Well,
much.
we're going to have a little photo op.
Oh, a
so
photo op. Okay, I'll
We
put this.
can, I would
I'll
put, that's
this-
exactly where I was going to
yes, yes.
suggest. And we will have, whoops.
Whoops.
You can hold it up, and if the President Commission will come down and join me. Well, he's with us in spirit.
dia ba 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 ba, dia ba 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 ba. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And I do have to say that beautiful snowplow that was all shiny with all the decorations that were on it and playing music was a real showstopper. And we were glad it was behind us so that made us look good. We didn't just walk with a snowplow. I cannot wait to see what next year's is. All right. Next, under new business, we have Resolution 1244-25, Harford County 2023 Amended Annual Growth Report. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that resolution number 1244-25, outlining amended 2023 Harford County Annual Growth Report, be accepted by the Bel Air Board of Town Commissioners.
Mr. Hopkins, did you raise your hand there?
Yes, ma'am. Director Small had car trouble. He is on his way, but I don't know his ETA, and I was trying to catch you before we had the motion. I would like to see if we could move this down further under new business. He should be here by the end. If not, then either Ms. Thompson or myself will address it.
What's your pleasure, Mr. Hopkins? I mean, it's
I-
nothing we haven't seen before because we see it
Yep.
twice a year.
Candidly, she or I can read right off the paper and put it forth. I just wanted to make sure you knew.
I feel very sorry for Director Small because it's bitterly cold and it is not a good day to have car trouble. If he's called AAA, he might be waiting for a while, and I certainly hope that he has somebody pick him up so he's warm and safe. But I'm going to suggest that we just continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. And
Are you okay if I present in Kevin's stead, for the record,
I'm sorry.
to go through
Oh,
this?
sure.
Yep.
And then you guys can vote
Sure. So
instead of
we
him?
have a motion and we need a second.
Yep.
Do I have a second? Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. All right. In that case, Ms. Thompson, you're going to present on behalf of Mr. Small.
Yes, Madam Chair. In 1997, the state passed the Smart Growth Areas Act, which requires municipalities to adopt adequate public facilities, or APF, standards for schools. In June and December of each year, the Harford County Planning Department completes a growth assessment on school population as required by statute. The town APF regulations restrict major subdivision approval in school districts where actual or projected enrollment exceeds 110% of state-rated capacity. Following receipt of this information, the growth report is then submitted to the Board of Town Commissioners at a public meeting for acceptance. Based on the information contained in the report, the Town Planning Commission determines where residential development may occur during the next 6 months. The staff recommends that Resolution 1244-25, 2023 Harford County Growth Report be accepted by the Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. I see Mr. Small has overcome his car troubles. I hope you weren't too cold with whatever you had to do, but we're glad you're here and warm. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Small? I know this is really a report that we don't generate. It comes from the county. It's presented to us for informational purposes and for the Planning Commission to guide their decisions.
Yes, Madam Chair. Good evening, and I'm so glad to see you're here safely and warmly. You still got a smile on your face after car trouble. Yeah, that's a great attitude. Just wanted to confirm on this growth report that based on the information provided by Harford County, Homestead Wakefield Elementary School is currently operating at 117%, and it projects it to decrease with completion of the new facility to 100% by 2025-2026 school year. Is that?
That's correct.
And that all the other schools serving the town of Bel Air are operating at less than 110% rated capacity and will continue to do so for the next 3 years as projected in this report.
That's also correct.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Very nice summary, Commissioner Rutledge. And for those that are listening at home, Homestead Wakefield will drop to 100% from 117 anticipated with the opening of the school. They will have more capacity, correct, Mr. Small?
Correct. Yeah, I anticipate I assume the report I get within 6 months from now, it'll show that situation. I don't know whether that will apply towards, it may go all through next year before it actually changes over.
Right. Just wanted to explain for people that might be curious why we were going to have such a huge drop in the percentage. And that's
In
the
a new
answer.
school.
We're not losing children, really. We're just gaining some seats, which is, terrific, so that they have a brand-new school and a little more space. Any more questions for Mr. Small? No? No? All right. Mr. Krantz?
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the acceptance of Resolution 1244-25, Commissioner Rutledge, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Chismar?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor? Commissioner Chance?
Aye.
And Chair Edding.
Aye.
The resolution is accepted. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Rockfield Manor Sprinkler Design Contract. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I would like to make the motion that the proposal of KCI 936 Ridgebrook Road, Sparks, Maryland, to provide engineering services to design a sprinkler fire protective system for Rockfield Manor House in the amount of $47,572 be accepted by the Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner Chance. May I have a second?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'll second.
Thank you. And this would be Mr. Klein.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Rockfield Manor, a historic 125-year-old farmhouse owned by the town, serves as a community center and event venue. The facility is managed by the Rockfield Foundation, a nonprofit organization responsible for hosting events and maintaining the property through a lease agreement with the town. To enhance guest accommodations and create a more weather-resilient space, the Rockfield Foundation is expanding the facility. The planned addition will be a single-story banquet hall of approximately 1,900 square feet connected to the original building at the first floor level, with the capacity of 120 occupants. In compliance with the International Fire Code, the expansion requires the installation of a sprinkler system throughout both the original farmhouse and the new addition. When we first were informed that the new addition required a sprinkler fire protection system to meet the International Fire Code, town staff recognized the need to engage in a professional engineering firm specializing in sprinkler system design, particularly for historic structures. To expedite the process, the town plans to leverage existing Howard County and City of Gaithersburg contracts to establish a professional services agreement with KCI for this project. KCI will provide professional engineering services for the design of the sprinkler system to meet the requirements of the International Fire Code for Rockfield Manor. The scope includes conducting a comprehensive assessment of the existing farmhouse and the proposed 1,900 square foot addition, ensuring compatibility with the historic structure and planned expansion. KCI will develop detailed design plans and specifications for the sprinkler system, incorporating solutions tailored to the preservation and functionality of the historic building. The firm will coordinate with local fire authorities to ensure compliance with all applicable fire codes and standards and provide guidance on integrating the system seamlessly with the facility's existing infrastructure. Additionally, KCI will assist with permitting, respond to contractor inquiries during installation, and conduct a final review to ensure the system is installed according to the approved design. The staff recommends that the proposal of KCI to provide engineering services to design a sprinkler fire protection system for Rockfield Manor House in the amount of $47,572 be accepted by the Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Klein.
Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Klein? All right. Is there anyone here that wishes to make a public comment on this particular contract? No? All right.
I do have a question about, it's sort of like the timing, how this unfolds. So we've got, first of all, what is the time-sensitive nature of like making this decision?
Making,
Yeah, if it's for us, to, I mean,
It-
as
it-
far
it-
as all this rolling, you know, like, we're getting ready to spend almost $50,000 for a design.
that's correct, and then we'll have, once
With
we have
no
that.
idea what the cost is gonna be.
Not at this time, but we should have a much better idea
Right.
at the time that I approach you next to get approval for a contractor.
Right, so do you have an idea of what the delay how much time will it take for KCI to do their job?
They're talking 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, so is part
They-
of that, do you think part of that pricing is the fact that we are asking them to drop a lot of work and do it on an expedited type of basis?
I don't believe so.
No?
They did not indicate that in
Okay.
in our conversations.
Seems like, a lot of time and effort and 50 grand worth of
Well,
time in
we,
4
we-
weeks.
we
That's
are under
confident.
a July deadline to try to get
Okay.
everything completed. That includes the installation of the existing, of the sprinkler system itself, so they can then start having functions again.
Yeah.
So we're definitely under the gun.
And, I don't want to belabor this next point too long, because maybe we can discuss it further on the, but we're getting ready to put them under contract. So once we do that, we're kind of committing to the whole concept. Do you know whether or not the International Fire Code would have required redoing the old building? Had there been like a breezeway between the two structures?
I do, because some of the back walling was designed with materials that were more flammable. So the whole back of the building it would needed to be sprinklered because of the skin that they have on the back of the building. That's what we were told by the Hartford County inspectors.
Okay, thanks, appreciate that,
Yes.
Steve.
Madam Chair, if I may, Mr. Rutledge, we will be splitting this cost with Rockfield 50/50. So that was part of the lease agreement, so they'll absorb it. Rockfield is coming before you all at the next work section to give you an update, so they can probably better explain the sense of urgency behind. I could explain this based on the meetings I've had with them, which I don't believe, when the building was first designed, they were led to believe that the building would need to be sprinklered. Then mid-project, apparently, it was decided the building needed to be sprinkled, which caught them completely off guard, both financially and just from a planning standpoint. So they came to us Mr. Klein, was it August, September?
That sounds about right,
Probably in
yeah.
August or September, and then it just took us a while to get the design underway. But everything for this project will be split 50/50 with them. We may front the cost, but we will get the reimbursement on the back end.
Okay, I'm glad we're going to have a discussion in the work session, because I didn't want to bring it now and throw, I'd like to get the cost estimate to see what it's going to take. And then I'd also like to know if there's some kind of risk assessment that was done, because it's not like it's a residence and you won't have people sleeping in there. There's a lot of open space and a lot of doorways. I was wondering if any risk assessment was done to say, with and without sprinklers, what kind of, what are we mitigating? Because it's mainly a day, evening function. So-
It really is being all led by the International Fire Code requirements with regard to the size of the building and the materials that are being used is basically pushing the whole product. We were kind of requested to overlook some things, and as your Public Works Director and building official, I did not feel comfortable doing that. It's a life safety matter, and I believe Mr. Hopkins was on the same page as I. That's why we felt that it was necessary for the town to take this thing by the horns and do it right. And that's why we're here tonight. Speaking clearly, this should have been taken care of by Rockfield before it got onto our doorstep. Their engineer and their architect should have had this designed and understood that it was required per the International Fire Code. It was then put on our lap and asked us to overlook some of the specifications, and I just didn't feel comfortable doing that for liability's sakes. And you're right, Mr. Chismar, there's, no one's usually sleeping in there or anything like that, but years ago, we had a drunk that goes flying through the window one night and broke through the window and was in that house, and if something like that would happen, he'd start a fire, it would be horrible. Would it happen? Maybe not, but.
We'll have the discussion. Well, Rockfield will be on the agenda at the next work session, so yeah, we can
That's correct. They'll
talk
be
those
on.
things, yes. But thank you for your information.
Sure.
I feel for Rockfield that they got caught at the last minute, because as a just a layman wouldn't know what the fire code required, and the building has never had the sprinkler system, so I think they were just going along figuring it didn't need one. But it does, because it's not a residence anymore, and the codes have changed. So now that they're gonna have that use, they need to operate under the fire code. And my understanding is, part of the reason, well, you have to do the design work so you have a price,
Correct.
because they have to go in there and take a look at everything in depth to figure out what they can design that will work, and then you
Yeah.
get a price, which is really what we have on many of our projects.
And a lot of the design really goes from, bringing the water from all the way from Ewing Street, which is like a 900 feet pool across the field, and the size of the piping that has to be done. And so we are going to really work hard with KCI to try to come up with some cheaper alternatives that meet the code to make this all work.
Yeah, you have to meet the fire code if you're going to have a commercial building with events in it. There's just no getting around that one. The sad
Yeah.
thing is, of course, that the water's so far away,
Yeah,
and they need
yeah.
a large
We-
pipe to get enough pressure to
We-
service that.
We were getting proposals such as add extra fire hydrants, or fire extinguishers in the building, improve the fire, the alarm system and so forth like that, but still it did not meet the code. So we would be.
And if we expect other people to
Right.
meet the code, then I think we need to meet the code. And
Right.
it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a health and safety thing. We just can't have buildings that we're allowing to be used for, weddings and other gatherings that doesn't meet the fire code.
And I really appreciate your support on that. Thank you.
There have been, I mean, I know in the press there have been a number of tragedies where clubs and buildings, or you figure people are not sleeping, they can get out, there's doors, but things happen, and when a fire starts, it's just tragic,
Right.
tragic, so.
Okay.
So I understand the importance, although I am with Commissioner Rutledge on the cost. It is like
It is,
mind-boggling.
I was quite taken back when I got the proposal, I can tell you that. I did not believe it would be that high.
Yeah, I was shocked too, but it's an old building, and we're stuck with that. So with that being said, anyone have any further questions for Mr. Klein, or further comments? No? Does any member of the
Yep.
public wish to make a public comment on the Rockville Manor Sprinkler Design Contract? No? All right, in that case, Mr. Krantz, I think we're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is for the vote for the award of contract to provide engineering services to design sprinkler system for Rockfield Manor House. Commissioner Rutledge,
Aye.
Commissioner Chismar,
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor, Commissioner Chance,
Aye.
and Chair Edding.
Aye.
Contract is approved. Thank you.
Next, we have Policy 2F3, Amendment to the Classification, Classified Positions, and Personnel Table. May I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that the revised Personnel Policy 2.F.3, entitled Classification, Classified Positions, and Personnel Table, including the removal of the Senior Planner position and the addition of a Deputy Director of Planning position in the Planning Department, be adopted by the Board of Town Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner Chismar. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Rutledge. And this would be Mr. Krantz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this is exactly as simple as the motion sounds. This is an addendum or a change to the Town of Bel Air classified positions and personnel table, with the elimination of the senior planner job and that addition of a deputy director of planning. So there's a change in pay grades from P19 to HM20 when we finally advertise and recruit for a deputy director of planning. And
All right.
staff recommends approval of this modification.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Krantz? And just for
Yeah.
clarity for anybody watching at home, we are not adding a position, we are changing a position. So it'll be a
Right.
net zero increase in personnel,
Correct. One for one.
1-for-1. All right.
Right. No, I just want to say I support that position because, we need a deputy director to take on more of the responsibilities because it's getting planning is a very intense and involved tasking, if you want to call it. And I think we need somebody that is going to have to take on more responsibility to support you and even in your absences, to understand and have that responsibility to work in your behalf. So I think it's a needed upgrade in the position.
Okay. Anything further? Would any member of the public like to address the amendment to the classification positions? No? All right. Mr. Krantz, we're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is for the amendment to the Personnel Policy Classifications and Positions Table, Policy 2F3, eliminating the Senior Planner and adding a Deputy Director. Commissioner Rutledge, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Chismar?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor? Aye. Commissioner Chance?
Aye.
And Chair Edding.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. Next, we have public announcements. It's Harford County Restaurant Week, and this 10-day celebration of our local restaurants runs through Sunday, January the 26th, with more than 40 establishments in Bel Air and Harford County involved. Check out the social media channels of Visit Harford for more information about participating restaurants. The opening reception for the Starving Artists exhibition at the Harford Artists Association Gallery and Armory Marketplace will be Saturday, January the 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. The exhibition, during which all artwork will be on sale for under $200, runs through March the 2nd. Visit artinhartford.org for more information. The Bel Air Police Department and the Bel Air Lions will host the Explorers Bingo Night on Friday, January the 31st in the Bel Air Armory. The doors open at 6 p.m. and the games begin at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20 per person and can be purchased online at belairlions.org through noon on January the 30th. After that, you can purchase tickets at the door. All proceeds benefit the Police Explorer Post 9010. The Family Fun Series at the Armory begins Saturday, February the 1st with the Instrument Petting Zoo, hosted by the Susquehanna Symphony Orchestra. This is an opportunity for children to interact with local musicians and check out their instruments. Doors open at 10:45 a.m. and the event begins at 11 a.m. Admission is free, but space must be reserved online in advance. Visit belairarmory.org to register. The series continues February the 8th with Jazz for People Who Are Shorter Than Me, featuring musician Seth Keibel and the company, also starting at 11 a.m. The final show in the series, Mayhem Magical Circus, on February the 15th, is already sold out. So if you're interested in any of these events, even though they're free, it's important to register in advance. Registration for the winter dance lessons in the Armory, which begin February 24th, is now open. Visit belairarmory.org to purchase tickets in advance. They are $80 per person for one 6-week session that runs through March 31st. 2 sessions are available: Intro to Salsa and the Bachata and Beginner Cha-Cha, both of which will be led by instructor Kristen Renshaw. Participants can take one session or both. The Committee for Seniors and Citizens in Need will meet at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, January the 22nd in the Bel Air Police Department Community Room. The Historic Preservation Commission will meet at 6 p.m. Thursday, January the 23rd in Town Hall. The Board of Town Commissioners will hold a work session at 5:15 p.m. on Tuesday, January the 28th in Town Hall, and the next Town Hall meeting will be Monday, February the 3rd at 7 p.m., also here in Town Hall. All meetings of town commissions and bodies are open to the public, and meetings of the town commissioners can also be viewed live on the Town of Bel Air, Maryland YouTube channel. And they're also recorded and available for your viewing pleasure at a later date when you have time. Did I miss anything in the public announcements? No? Okay.
Are we taking commissioner comments now?
We are first taking public comments.
Okay.
Anyone here that's a member of the public that wishes to make a comment? Nope? All right, then. We are taking commissioners' comments. Commissioner Chance.
I just wanted to say again to Kevin how much I appreciated Laura's work last week when she presented the pedestrian and bike plan that she had worked so hard on. I feel like we didn't give her enough time to really talk about what she had done and all the effort that went into it, and I really did appreciate her work. So please make sure that she and your staff understand how much I appreciated that. Okay, thank you.
Any other commissioners' comments?
I did want to, just once again, congratulate the police department on being selected to participate in security for the presidential inauguration. and went and participated and bravely braved the cold. And congratulations to the entire department, Deputy Chief. If you can pass that on to everyone, I'd be very, very grateful for that. And it was, I was away for the weekend down in South Florida with a number of Marylanders down there, and many of whom were very intently watching and happy about the inauguration. And I was very proud to relate to them that our town of Bel Air is represented there, and the reception of that at the gatherings that I went to were very well received, and it was nice to be able to share that. So thank you very much.
I will definitely let them know, and thank you for everybody up there who supported us and allowed us to do so. They were truly grateful, as I am, so thank you.
Have they returned?
They did.
They did?
returned
This morning? Good.
Late morning.
Right.
And they went home to unfreeze.
And freeze. To thaw out?
Well, I echo what Commissioner Rutledge said. It is really an honor to be invited to participate in the inauguration. And I understand they all have a new ribbon to wear on their uniforms.
Received the ribbon, they're wearing the uniforms. I saw some emails going around today about where to actually wear them, so we'll figure out the uniformity and then go from there.
I think that's really special.
Yeah.
Congratulations to every one of them. It's really an honor. All right. Anything else? All right. In that case, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We are adjourned.
Adjourned.